Tymaz Bagbani's message to the doctors who told him he only had 6 months to live.
I could never even imagine for a second life without Tymaz.
Do not disturb, I've been in a different zone. TB12 red zone, straight end zone. Still, D&D to the fake friends though. Still, bad energy just drowns my mental. So I stay in the studio every night. Came in the game, no warning, no break light. No
Tymaz Bagbani just celebrated his 23rd birthday. His cancer in remission.
And you're back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, it's my pleasure to virtually bring on Tymaz Bagbani from Toronto, Canada. Tymaz, how are you, my friend?
Looking forward to this convo, man.
Likewise, man. I really appreciate you making time. First of all, I apologize for the delay up there, but I guess we wouldn't really be Persian if there wasn't some kind of delays in the way that we start on all gatherings, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So Tymaz, I kind of gave like a little brief, on a macro level of your story, but obviously there's just so much more to your story. I would rather it comes from your own words. Just kind of give your little story of like your upbringing, where you were born, where you were raised, and then share with us the journey of what first happened medically, and then pretty much the journey that you've gone through.
Okay, so my parents are both refugees, came straight from Iran by themselves, no family, built themselves up. I was born in Toronto myself. We had my mom, they worked hard. We moved up a little north. Since I was a little kid, I always had one goal, and that was to be a soccer player. And I started playing at the highest levels in Canada at the age of 5. Played at the highest levels, continued. I was having a happy, normal childhood, doing well, like a true Canadian success story. And then at the age of 11 is when I was first diagnosed with leukemia AML. And it was just like I would always be one of the fastest players at training and everything. And I just started to notice bruises all over across my body. And my mom just noticed I wasn't running as fast, and just mother's intuition took me to see a doctor. And the doctor told me right there, it's like, if you kept playing, you could have done like a header and got internal bleeding, because I was like training with basically 0 cells in my body. And then after that, I beat it the first time, got back to normal life, got back to soccer. Feels like it was just a hiccup. It was good for 2.5 years. And then in the grade 9 summer, it relapsed again for the second time. And with that, and with the second battle with leukemia, they told me this time the only chance was to get a bone marrow transplant. So, and nobody in my family was a match, so we had to go on like a donor drive across the world, me and my mom fighting to get that. I finally found a match, got the transplant, and then it was doing well. 10 months later after that, I moved to Spain, Malaga at 15 by myself. I started trying out with professional clubs there, and only about a month and a half in there, I relapsed again for the third time and had to go straight from the soccer field in Spain to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. And then keep going, or like
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. And that was how long ago? I guess you kind of just gave a timeline from the time you were 11 years old, and you're 23 years old right now. When you went back there the last time from Spain straight to the hospitals in Toronto, and then by the time you went through the whole process of chemo, when did that end? How long have you been in remission?
So basically, when I first got back, they didn't even want to give me treatment or anything. They just said it would do more damage than good. They gave me 6 months to live. They just told my mom, enjoy the time you have left with your son. We just refused to accept it. We went to the board of the hospital, fought for the treatment, fought for everything, had to do everything again. And every time you go through a battle and you go through it again, it becomes 10 times harder. So like the third time, like my body has already gone through 2 full treatments, 1 bone marrow transplant. And this time I had to get total body radiation and a second bone marrow transplant. And then but like my first 2 times I was still playing soccer. I was good. Like I would just go in the hospital, beat it, come back out, start training again. But it's my third battle that really, like, because basically when you get the thing that cured my cancer, the second bone marrow transplant, basically took away everything else. And
Is
then
that when you were put in a wheelchair and you were told that you would never walk again?
yeah, basically. So right now I'm like 8 years remission. So they gave me 6 months to live and it's 8 years now. And I'm doing good, getting stronger every single day. But it just took years and years and years to get my body back because when I had the second one, basically it's called graft versus host disease. When you get a transplant from somebody else's body, your body doesn't recognize it as your own organ, right?
Hmm.
So in its natural instinct is to fight against each other. And your bone marrow is your like cell factory. That's where all your cells are come get produced and everything. Your cells are where everywhere in your body. So basically every cell in my body went to war with each other. And it was like very, very, very bad. Like that. And then basically all my joints and things got constricted and I was like stuck like in a bent position 90 degrees. And they told me I'll just be like that.
So how do the doctors explain how you were able to defy all the odds and basically make it out on the other side? Like what do you attribute it to? What do they attribute it to?
To be honest, I'm sure they're still wondering how, but I know it's soccer that did it for me, literally. The love to get back to the game, the love to know that I got great things to do in life, and it's the mindset. Because whatever your mind tells you, your body's gonna follow. So basically, like when people say it, I say it all the time, soccer, literally.
Where does this incredible passion and desire, sense of purpose, like what's been the catalyst? Like would you say that from a very young age you were determined, or is this something that the determination and the purpose all came during your first bout of cancer? Like if I were to go back to Tymaz when he was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, would he have the same demeanor, the same will to be the greatest?
100%. Timeless has always been timeless. Like, like in everything I thought since a kid, I would go to the fields myself. I would call the coaches myself since a kid. I'm doing all the things just like how I do in my music. I handle everything myself. I was a man since I was a kid. And I did it all. And it's just always I felt like I have confidence in myself and my abilities. And I always like I don't like there's just like how there's fight and flight. Time just has fight, no flight, and it's funny.
So,
That's it.
so where do you think it come from? Like, where does this where does it come from? You think?
It's it's in me, but I found it in me and I grew it myself. You know what I mean? Like I always had it in me. I feel like everybody has it in me, but I just tap into it. And I tap into it because whenever I find something that I'm passionate about and I like you don't need to tell me. You don't need to be like, oh, time, let's go train. Like I'm gonna do it myself. That's just something like I enjoy to do that. So like for me, it's not like hard work. It's something that I just do naturally. But like it's a looking around you and seeing what do you want to be in this life and what makes you excited, and then finding that's the thing that taps in with you, so you tap in with it. So basically, yeah, that's the mentality.
But where did your love and passion for soccer or football, where did that derive from? Do you remember the first time you fell in love with the pitch?
Like even my parents tell me I was kicking the ball before I could even walk. Like it was just like that's it. Like that's I've been soccer's been me. That's been time was, and it's like I don't know. It's just natural. It's like how do you like why is the sky blue? It's like things like that. Why does time was love soccer? It's like it's just I can't describe it. It's just it's a different kind of feeling I
Hold
get.
on I'm so sorry, Thomas. Give me 1 second. We just had. Give me a second, brother. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Um, Yeah, so I'm sorry. It was I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought here. So go back real quick to kind of explaining. Like it was just in you from the beginning. Like you're kind of born with the ball in your lap, and you just kind of like continue to have like this love for it multiply throughout the years.
Yeah, it was in me from the beginning, and then it just grew and grew and grew and grew more as I get older and I understand more.
So there, unfortunately, it got to the point where this last time around, that dream of playing professionally, or at the highest level possible really became it just wasn't going to happen again. So my first question is, how did you deal with that setback?
Um, it's something I'm still dealing with now. You know, it's not like it's in the past. I just it's just you gotta things happen in life, and you can either let them crush you or let it build you. And it's just like I used it as like, okay, I can't do this, but more than even soccer, I think I love competing. And then I found in music is like it's an even playing field, you know. It's not like I was always at a disadvantage, always like had a disadvantage training with these guys that I'm going to the hospital and going back to the pitch. These guys have I'm getting my time taken away from me, everything. And it's just like music is another way of me competing.
And so is that how the adjustment came? You realized that you can no longer compete at the highest level with soccer, but you found like the next closest, and if I'm not mistaken, you didn't just find the next closest love in music. I feel like at this point you're realizing that, wait a second, I thought it was soccer that was going to be the major love of my life, but would it be fair to say that at this point music is right neck and neck, and you're maybe it's even fueling your hunger even more? Or tell me about it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would say I bring the same mentality I brought to soccer to my music, like my training things. Like it's all about things. Like in my first year of music, I'm like I'm gonna do this serious. I made 30 songs a month for like 4 straight months so I could perfect it. It's like reps, it's like drills, and like music is just I'm still finding what I want in life. Like I'm still like everyone else, you know. But I enjoy it, and I'm putting anything I enjoy, I do to my best of my abilities.